Welcome to our deep dive into your Erroneous Zones by Wayne Dyer.
Oh, this is a good one.
It's a classic, right? This self-help book from 1976, it's all about, well, taking control of your life, really. We're going to explore Dyer's ideas on how to, ditch those self-defeating behaviors, the ones that can really sabotage your happiness. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing how relevant this book still is, Even though it was written decades ago,
Right.
Dyer's ideas about how our past experiences and negative emotions and even those limiting beliefs we have, they can really hold us back from living those fulfilling lives we all want.
It's true. And he uses this term,
Oh, yeah.
erroneous zones,
Yeah.
to describe these patterns of thinking and behaving, the ones that ultimately lead to unhappiness.
Right.
And he kicks off the book, actually, with a really interesting analogy.
Oh, I love this one.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He describes a speaker, right,
Uh-huh.
addressing a group of alcoholics
Okay.
about self-defeating behaviors.
Oh.
And to illustrate his point, really drive it home,
Yeah.
the speaker drops worms into a glass of water.
Oh, wow.
Like, picture that.
Yeah.
The worms, of course, immediately they recoil.
Yeah, of course. It's like
Who wouldn't?
such a visceral reaction.
It's a powerful visual.
Holy.
Dyer's point is that so many of us react
Oh, yeah.
to negative thoughts and behaviors in a very, very similar way.
Like we're programmed to, almost.
Yeah. Instead of choosing happiness, which we could do,
Right.
we almost instinctively recoil from it. And we end up, trapped in these erroneous zones.
Yeah, like it's our comfort zone in a way, even if it's making us unhappy.
Right, exactly.
It's familiar.
It's familiar.
Yeah.
And to help you figure out, if you might be stuck in one of these zones,
Uh-huh.
Dyer offers this 25-question self-assessment.
Okay. Yeah.
These questions are designed to make you really examine your beliefs and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, I got to say,
Yeah.
they're pretty thought-provoking.
Like?
But bad. Like, do you believe that your mind is your own?
Oh, wow.
And are you motivated from within rather than by external validation?
Yeah.
Like, I found myself really stopping and thinking about my answers.
It make you think.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
And those questions, they're such a great way to kind of,
Yeah.
start thinking about the core concepts in the book,
It's like a springboard.
Totally.
Yeah.
One of the most important takeaways is this idea of taking charge of yourself.
Uh-huh.
Dyer argues that you can actually choose your emotions instead of letting them control you.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
He uses a syllogism from Aristotle to explain this concept.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it goes like this.
Yeah.
You can control your thoughts. Your emotions come from your thoughts. Therefore, you can control your emotions.
Oh, I see. So it's like a chain reaction almost.
Yeah.
Oh.
It seems simple, but it's such a profound idea.
Yeah.
Dyer challenges us to break free from this mindset of, I'm accustomed to feeling this way.
Yeah, like this is just how I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And instead, he wants us to actively choose happiness,
Okay.
even when faced with, difficult situations.
I can see how that would be tough.
It can be.
Especially when you're used to reacting a certain way.
It is. He compares it to learning to drive a stick shift.
Okay.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
It might feel awkward and difficult at first,
Totally.
but with practice,
Yeah.
you gain more and more control.
So it's a skill you can develop.
It is. It's a skill.
Oh,
It's like exercising a muscle, the happiness muscle.
my happiness muscle. I like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And another key concept in the book
Mm-hmm.
is first love, which focuses on
Yes.
self-love.
Thanks, love.
Dyer makes the point that you can't truly love others until you've learned to love yourself first.
It makes sense
Right.
when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He challenges readers to identify and really let go of negative self-talk. That's a big one.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And he encourages us to cultivate this positive self-acceptance, and recognize our inherent worthiness.
Instead of waiting for someone else to tell us we're worthy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he tells the story of a man named Noah
Oh.
who learns to love himself unconditionally,
Mm.
even though his father was very withholding with affection.
Wow.
Noah finds a way to overcome that early programming
Oh, that's powerful.
and really, embrace self-love.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really inspiring example
It is.
of how self-love can transform your life.
Mm.
And speaking of transformation,
Okay.
Dyer also dives into the need to break free from this constant
Oh, yeah.
need for approval.
Right.
He calls approval seeking a trap.
A trap, yeah.
Because when you're constantly seeking validation from others,
Yeah.
you're essentially handing over your emotional power.
You're giving them the control?
Exactly.
Yeah. He traces the roots of this behavior back to, like, childhood experiences,
Oh, sure.
societal pressures,
Of course.
and even religious teachings.
Interested.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think about how these external forces
Hmm.
can shape our need for approval.
Yeah, like we're conditioned to seek it out.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And to help us overcome this need for approval.
Yeah.
Dyer offers some practical strategies.
Right.
One technique that he calls coaxing
Okay.
is about gradually reducing your dependence on external validation.
So it's like weaning yourself off of it.
It is, yeah, it is.
Okay.
So, for example,
Mm.
instead of constantly seeking praise from your boss, right,
Right.
focus on doing your best work and finding satisfaction
Hmm.
in your accomplishments.
Okay.
It's about shifting your focus
Yeah.
from that external validation
Hmm.
to internal motivation.
So you're validating yourself, essentially.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
And another major theme in the book is the importance of breaking free from the past.
oh, that's huge.
It is.
Yeah.
Dyer's message is very clear. The past is gone.
Right.
Clinging to old labels and limiting beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
it will only keep you stuck.
It's like carrying around dead weight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He encourages us to really examine
Okay.
how past experiences
Yeah.
might be shaping our present behavior.
Oh, for sure.
For example, if you were labeled shy as a child,
Okay.
you might still be avoiding social situations as an adult,
Right.
even if that label no longer fits.
Even though you've changed.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Dyer suggests reframing those I'm statements.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
instead of saying I'm shy, you might say, that was me back then.
Hmm. Subtle shift.
It is. It is.
But I can see how that would make a difference.
Right.
Very.
It's a subtle shift in language,
Yeah.
but it can have a profound impact on your mindset.
How you see yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So by letting go of those old labels,
Mm-hmm.
you open yourself up to new possibilities.
You allow yourself to grow.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're better able to see yourself as a work in progress,
Yeah.
someone who's capable of growth and change.
Not fixed.
Exactly, not fixed.
Yeah.
Dyer also tackles two emotions that he calls
Oh, this is interesting.
useless,
Okay.
guilt and worry.
Guilt and worry. Okay.
He argues that guilt keeps you chained to the past,
Right.
while worry keeps you paralyzed by fear of the future.
So they both keep you stuck.
They do.
Yeah.
And he offers vivid examples of how guilt is used as a weapon, from parents, manipulating their children,
Right.
to religious institutions instilling fear
Wow.
of divine retribution.
Powerful stuff.
It is. It's pretty eye-opening to see how often guilt
Yeah.
is used to control others.
To get people to do what you want.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And when it comes to worry, Dyer suggests some interesting techniques,
Okay.
like scheduling worry time.
What?
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
that work?
So the idea to
Mhm.
confine your anxiety
Uh-huh.
to a specific time each day,
Oh.
so it doesn't take over your entire life.
So you're giving it boundaries.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But I can see how it might be helpful to create some boundary
Right.
around worry.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it consume you, you're choosing to address it at a specific time
Okay.
and then let it go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key takeaway here is that both guilt and worry,
Mm.
they're forms of immobilization.
They stop you from moving forward.
They do.
Yeah.
They keep you from living fully in the present moment.
Oh, I see the connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Dyer encourages us to choose to live in the now,
Mm.
where we have the power to act and make positive changes.
Where we have agency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a really great question to consider.
It is.
As we continue exploring these erroneous zones,
Uh-huh.
I think it's important to kind of, delve deeper into one of Dyer's most
Okay.
central ideas,
Right.
this power of living in the present moment.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge, right?
It is.
It's a big one.
Dyer emphasizes how,
Yeah.
dwelling on the past or worrying about the future,
Yeah.
it just robs us of the joy of right now,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses a really vivid analogy to illustrate this point.
Right.
He talks about a traveler, okay,
Yeah.
carrying this heavy suitcase
Okay.
full of rocks.
Full of rocks. All right.
And those rocks represent,
Oh,
past regrets and anxieties about the future.
I see.
Right.
Okay.
And the traveler is is so weighed down by
Yeah.
all that baggage
Uh-huh.
that they can barely,
Yeah.
enjoy the scenery or the journey itself.
You're so focused on what you're carrying,
Exactly.
yeah, that you miss what's right there.
You miss it all.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful image.
It is.
Right. It makes you realize how much energy we waste
Oh, yeah.
on things that are completely outside of our control.
Can't change it.
We can't
All right.
we can't change the past,
Yeah.
and we certainly can't predict the future.
Yeah, no crystal ball.
Right.
Okay.
So all we really have is this moment.
This moment.
Right.
Now?
And Dyer argues that by focusing our attention
Yeah.
on the present moment,
Okay.
we can free ourselves
There's that.
from those useless emotions.
Oh, okay. Like
Guilt, worry, regret,
Spelt.
heavy rocks. Yeah, exactly. The ones that keep us stuck,
Yeah.
He calls it immobilization.
Immobilization.
And it's a concept that he returns to again and again throughout the book.
Okay.
It's this idea that we become paralyzed
Bye.
by our thoughts and feelings
Okay.
instead of taking action.
We get stuck in our heads.
We do. We do.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest culprits, according to Dyer, is
The
this
need for justice.
the need for justice.
Okay.
He calls it a trap
Oh,
because we get so caught up in demanding fairness
Oh, yeah.
that we lose sight of what we can actually control.
I see. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's this belief that the world owes us something, that things should be a certain way.
Right. Right.
And when reality doesn't match up to our expectations, we feel resentful
Disappointed.
and disappointed.
Yeah.
It's so easy to fall into that trap,
Oh, I know.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when we see injustice happening around us or when we feel personally wronged in some way.
Yeah, when it feels personal,
Yeah,
it's hard not to get caught up in that.
it is.
Yeah.
Dyer challenges us to shift our perspective.
Okay, how?
Instead of demanding that the external world change,
Right.
he encourages us to look inward
Oh, okay.
and ask ourselves,
Oh, okay.
what can I control in this situation?
That's a good question.
It is.
Yeah.
And often the only thing we can truly control is our own response.
Or reaction.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We can choose how we want to feel and act,
Regardless of what's happening around us.
regardless.
Ah.
That's such an empowering concept.
It is. It puts you back in the driver's seat.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It ties back to Dyer's idea that,
Yeah.
we are not victims of our circumstances.
Right.
We always have a choice.
We have agency.
Yes.
Okay.
We have the power to choose happiness.
Even when
Even when things are tough.
things are tough.
Even when things are really, really hard.
That's powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
And one of the things that can make choosing happiness so difficult
Yeah.
is the baggage we carry from our past.
Oh, yeah. That stuff can weigh you down.
It can. It can.
Sure.
Dyer talks a lot about how our childhood experiences can shape our adult behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Those early messages we receive
Yeah.
from our parents, our teachers,
Right.
society at large.
Yeah. It's like programming almost.
It is. It is. They
Yeah.
can become deeply ingrained in our subconscious.
And we don't even realize it, right?
Right.
We're just running these programs.
We are. We're on autopilot.
Yeah.
And if those messages are, negative or limiting,
Yeah.
they can really hold us back in life.
Sabotage us.
They can.
Yeah.
For instance, if you were constantly told as a child that, you're not good enough,
Ouch.
you might carry that belief into adulthood
Wow.
and sabotage your own success
Without even realizing it.
without even realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Dyer offers practical strategies
Okay.
for breaking free from those negative patterns.
All right.
He encourages us to examine our beliefs and challenge the ones that are no longer serving us.
Get rid of the ones that are holding us back.
Yes.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of self-awareness
Right.
and the power of consciously choosing new, more empowering beliefs.
So you're rewriting the program.
You are. It's a process of unlearning those old limiting messages
Yeah.
and replacing them with ones that
Unlearning
align
it.
with our values and goals.
That serve us better.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And it's a journey, not a destination. It takes time and effort
Yeah.
to reprogram those deeply ingrained patterns.
Takes work.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
One of the things I appreciate about Dyer's approach is that he's very upfront about the fact that, personal growth can be challenging.
Oh, for sure.
He doesn't sugarcoat things.
No pain, no gain.
Right.
Yeah.
But he also emphasizes the incredible rewards
Okay.
that come with it.
What are those?
he paints a vivid picture of what it's like
Okay.
to live a life free from those erroneous zones.
Oh, I like that.
You know,
Yeah.
he talks about experiencing greater happiness,
Mm-hmm.
deeper fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
and a profound sense of inner peace.
Wow, that's the dream.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like he's offering us a glimpse of what's possible.
When we let go of those self-defeating behaviors.
The erroneous zones.
Yeah, and he stresses that this is available to everyone. It's not,
Not just for certain people.
not some exclusive club
Okay.
for a select few.
I like that.
It's a matter of
Think about that.
choice
Choice.
and commitment.
Yeah.
Choosing to step into your full potential.
Hmm.
Choosing to create a life that you truly love.
And as we delve deeper into Dyer's work,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear, like, what's standing out for you? What
Yeah.
are some of the key takeaways that you're finding particularly, insightful or thought-provoking?
Yeah, so much of what Dyer writes about, it really resonates with me, particularly his emphasis on the power of choice.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy to feel like,
Like we're
at the mercy of our circumstances, right?
right, yeah.
Or our emotions.
Yeah, like we don't have any control.
But Dyer, he constantly reminds us that
We always have a choice in how we respond to those things.
So it's not the circumstances themselves, it's
No.
how we react to them.
Exactly. And that's what makes your erroneous zones such a powerful and enduring work,
It's timeless.
It is.
Yeah.
It puts the power back in your hands.
It reminds me of that quote, actually, from Viktor Frankl.
Okay.
He said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way."
That's a perfect way to put it.
It really sums it up, right?
It does.
Yeah.
And Dyer, he provides us with some very practical strategies to exercise that freedom.
Okay, like what?
One thing that comes to mind
Yeah.
is his discussion about setting healthy boundaries in relationships,
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
especially with family members.
Ooh, that's tough.
That can be.
Especially if you don't grow up with them,
Right.
Yeah.
It can be really challenging
It
to
can.
start asserting yourself and setting those limits.
But it's so important.
But Dyer makes it clear
Yeah.
that clinging to those old patterns of dependence, it won't allow you to become your true self.
Like you're holding yourself back.
You are.
Yeah.
He also talks about the importance of,
Yeah.
paying attention to the messages we're sending ourselves.
What do you mean?
Those negative thought patterns
Oh, yeah.
and constant self-criticism.
Right. That inner voice.
Yeah.
That can be so mean.
It can be brutal.
Yeah.
It can be incredibly damaging to our self-esteem.
It eats away at you.
It does.
Yeah.
And one of the antidotes that Dyer offers
Okay.
is the practice of,
Yeah.
replacing those negative thoughts with
Affirming-
positive
yeah.
affirmations.
Positive affirmations.
So instead of focusing on your flaws,
Right.
you start to highlight your strengths and celebrate your accomplishments.
So you're basically like hyping yourself up.
You are, yeah, you become your own cheerleader.
Your own cheerleader. I love that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's not about being arrogant or conceited.
No.
It's about recognizing that you are inherently worthy
Worthy of.
love and respect.
Okay.
And treating yourself
Yeah.
with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer a dear friend.
That's a good point.
Right.
Treat yourself like you would treat someone you love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dyer also encourages us to,
Yeah.
to question the conventional wisdom
Oh, interesting.
that we often accept without even thinking.
Like those unspoken rules.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's a big proponent of examining those shoulds that we might be blindly following,
even if they don't make sense.
even if they make us
Quickly.
miserable.
Yeah.
He tells this great story
Oh, I love his story.
about a woman who was like obsessed with staying thin because it's what her mother had always told her
Yeah.
she should do.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And she
Yeah.
finally broke free from that unhealthy obsession
Wow. How?
when she started questioning those beliefs and defining her own values around health and well-being.
So she took back her power.
She did.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in,
Yeah.
trying to please others or meet those societal expectations.
Right. Like you have to fit in.
Yeah. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you are the author of your own life.
Ooh. I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dyer's message is clear. Write your own story.
That's powerful.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And what's so liberating about Dyer's approach
Mm.
is that he acknowledges that,
Yeah.
there's no one right way to live.
Right. Different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Okay.
What works for one person
Yeah.
might not work for another.
Right. We're all unique individuals.
We are.
Mm.
It's all about finding what brings you joy, what aligns with your values,
Yeah.
and what makes you feel truly alive.
What makes you you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dyer's insights offer a powerful reminder that happiness
Happiness is
is the inside job.
an inside job.
It's not something you find out there in the world.
Or it's not something you can buy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It's a state of mind,
Mm.
a choice that you make
Each and every day.
each and every day.
I like that.
And while those external circumstances,
Mm.
they'll always have some influence on your mood,
Right. Things happen.
things happen.
Yeah.
They don't have to dictate your overall well-being.
We get to choose how we react.
We do.
Okay.
You have the power to choose happiness,
Hmm.
no matter what's happening around you.
It's been such a pleasure exploring these thought-provoking ideas with you today.
Likewise.
Your Erroneous Zones. It's one of those books that you can,
Keep coming back to.
you can return to it again and again
Yeah.
and always find something new.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening, we encourage you to,
Yeah.
keep exploring these ideas.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
And keep growing.
Because as Wayne Dyer so eloquently put it,
Hmm.
the essence of greatness is the ability to choose personal fulfillment in circumstances where others choose madness,
So go out there.
and choose fulfillment